Hello, this is Andrew from sheeppointers.com, and this was the first lesson, so our video lesson. And this goes hand in hand with our article that we posted on our website, and this is a video explaining all the steps in a visual way, so hopefully you can understand better if you had any problems with the article. So, starting off, I just want to give an introduction that Google Sheets has many purposes, but at its core, it honestly helps us to compute numbers and data so that we can understand it. For example, you may want to see the difference between two data points recorded in an experiment. The way you can do this is using a vast array of mathematical formulas and functions Google Sheets offers. But today we will start at the very basics and teach you how to add, subtract, divide, or multiply. So let's see what a formula is in Google Sheets and how the formula for a mathematical equation is. So I'll just zoom in and give you a better view. So the way we tell Google Sheets to do something or take a mathematical equation is by clicking any one of these cells and hitting an equal sign. And the equal sign brings us many possible equations we can do. But today we'll just be going over the basic add, subtract, divide, multiply. And all you do really is for adding and doing these functions, you just put a parentheses, you enter your mathematical equation in, and you close that parentheses. So just for example right here, we'll go into this more in depth, but you do 4 plus 4. That should give you 8. Yep, and it gives you 8. So you just click on here, put an equal sign, enter whatever formula you want to put in, and it'll give you that. So here are the 4 different functions that you can do. Let's zoom out again so you can see it better. So here are the 4 different functions you can do. You can obviously add, subtract, multiply, divide. So here I put the goal. So if you want to do 5 plus 5, you would enter in equal sign, parenthesis, 5 plus 5. So let's do it here as an example, just to show you that it doesn't in fact work. 5 plus 5 gives you 10. Now 5 minus 5, same thing. Just put the mathematical equation in, should give you 0. That's pretty simple in how it goes. Some small thing that you may not know. For multiplication, the multiplication sign is star. So that should be shift 8, but you put the star in, and then it should give you 25. And lastly, you click on this one, put an equal sign, 5 divided by 5, and 1. There we go. So that's pretty simple enough as it gets with Google Sheets. So you click any square, and whenever you want to put a mathematical equation in, you just put an equal sign, enter in the formula, and it will give you the answer. So here are more examples. We did this on the previous slide, but again, just a repeat of it. So 5 plus 5 is equal sign 5 plus 5. And then I think you got the idea, but let's just do one more. Equal sign 5 minus 5. And then, yeah, that's as easy as it gets. You just pick whichever cell or box you want to do a mathematical equation in. You enter your equation, and Google Sheets will calculate it for you. Now, from what I've taught you so far, all you can do with this is really a calculator. That's all what it serves its purpose right now. There's no real uses for you yet. But as we expand, we will get more uses and as this program. So we have these lessons and all these skills will add on to each other and you'll learn how to use them more and more efficiently. But this is a skill that we have to know for so you can use these mathematical equations in a more effective and efficient way in the future, in future projects. So we can reference numbers. So let's say, let me just set this up. So you can do a mathematical equation by entering numbers in. So let's say our goal is to multiply number A by number B. So 5 times 4. Now, you can do that, all fine. And it gives you the correct answer, 20. But let's say we change our mind and want to change this 4 to a 3. Well, in order to make this equation right again, what we'd have to do is go back and change it to 5 times 3, which for something small like this, it's fine. It doesn't take that long. But when you want to do a huge spreadsheet for let's say your business that you're doing this for, if you change your mind on something, you don't want to go through each and every data point and correct it. So what we do here is doing it by referencing cells. So mathematical equation by referencing cells. So we'll get into this in a later lesson, exactly the peculiarities of cells. But here we will just show you a basic overview. So each of these boxes is a cell. And if you notice, there's a coordinate system on here. So on the top is A, and on letters, and on the sides they're numbers. So each cell has its own certain coordinates. So let's say we want to find the coordinates of the number 5. We go here, look, it's in the column C and the row 3. And where these meet, we would call this C3. Let's say we want to do this one right here. So where it says A times B. It's column B, row 5, so we call it B5. So the reason we want to, that it's important to us is because we can reference cells in our mathematical equations. So we don't have to reference a number, but we can enter in the number's cell. So let's say C3, which is number 5, times C4, which is the number 3, and it'll give us the number 15, which it did the first time. But let's say we want to change it. The equation automatically updates for you. So why do we want to do this? So a good reason why we want to do this, again, as I said, if we change our mind or something, it's easy to fix. Now, it might be confusing that we enter these coordinates and we get a mathematical equation. So what this means in this mathematical equation, instead of something simple like 2 times 3, this reads it as the number in the cell C3 multiplied by the number in cell C4. So it doesn't read it as values, it just, so this equation, it looks first what number is here, puts it, substitutes it in, then looks what number is in here, and puts it into the equation. So that's why we can just change these and the equation will automatically change because it's not based on a number, it's based on this cell, and whatever number is in here gets put into the equation. So so I just wanted to show you an example of where we can use this. So this is part of the assignment we gave you as a check of what you've learned so far. But let's see here. Put it to number 3. So what this does is it reads the number here and multiplies it by 1, by 2, or every number up to 9. So we're getting the times table for number 3. So 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. And how we do this is by referencing cells, as we did in the previous example. So we take the number, the equation tells us to take the number from cell D3, multiply by cell D4. And if you ever decide to change numbers, the whole thing updates for you. So you don't have to painstakingly go through each cell and correct it for number 7. So like we want to change to 2, we just change it in one cell and the whole thing updates. So I hope you learned a bit on mathematical equations. They're really the basis of Google Sheets, and I hope that you took something away from this. And we will also be posting a tutorial video on how to do this template in case you have any problems doing it. Make sure to check us out again on sheetpointers.com, and thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and happy spreadsheeting.